Beneath the surface of the ocean, sunlight fades faster than most people realize. At just a few hundred meters down, the world grows cold, silent, and crushingly dark. Pressure builds with every descent, warping metal, bone, and biology itself. Down here, survival doesn't reward beauty or balance, it rewards whatever works. Eyes grow enormous, teeth grow too large, and bodies bend into unfamiliar shapes. This is a realm shaped by scarcity, darkness, and time. A place so hostile that evolution itself seems to abandon restraint. And yet, life not only survives here, it becomes something else entirely. In the deep ocean, danger doesn't always announce itself with size or speed. Sometimes it waits in silence, drifting just beyond the edge of visibility. In a place where food is rare and darkness is absolute, survival favors creatures that are prepared for the moment opportunity appears, no matter how brief that moment may be. Here, evolution doesn't refine, it exaggerates. One of the clearest examples of this lies hidden in the black water, small and almost unassuming at a distance. But as it comes into view, the illusion of simplicity disappears. The fangtooth fish is a study in biological excess. Its body is compact and dense, built to endure crushing pressure, but its mouth tells a different story. Its teeth are so large they physically cannot fit inside its own jaws. When its mouth closes, those fangs slide into specialized grooves in the skull, stopping just short of its eyes. These teeth exist for a single reason. In the deep sea, a missed meal can mean weeks of hunger. The fangtooth cannot afford failure. It does not chase prey or waste energy in pursuit. Instead, it waits, drifting slowly, conserving every ounce of strength. When something comes close enough, the jaws snap shut with absolute certainty. There is no elegance in this design, only effectiveness. Strangely, this creature that thrives under immense pressure is extremely fragile outside its world. Near the surface, the fangtooth cannot survive. Its body is too specialized, too adapted to the deep. And that may be the most unsettling truth of all. The fangtooth is not an anomaly, it is a warning. In the deep ocean, evolution creates what it needs, without mercy or restraint. In the deep sea, finding food is only part of the challenge. Finding each other can be even harder. The darkness is so complete, the distance is so vast, that many creatures may drift for their entire lives without ever encountering another of their own kind. And yet, life persists, not by chance, but by changing the rules entirely. Somewhere in that black expanse, a faint light flickers, not a reflection, not a mistake, a deliberate signal glowing softly in the void. It is a lure designed to be seen from far away in a place where seeing anything at all is rare. Following that light leads to one of the deep ocean's most infamous inhabitants, the anglerfish. The anglerfish is built for patience. Its body is squat and dense, conserving energy in an environment where every movement has a cost. Extending from its head is a modified spine tipped with bioluminescent bacteria, a living lantern it can dim, brighten, or wave gently to mimic prey. In total darkness, this glow is irresistible. Curious fish approach the light, and when they do, the anglerfish strikes with shocking speed. But the true horror of the anglerfish lies not in how it hunts, but in how it reproduces. Males are tiny, often no larger than a finger, and nearly useless on their own. When a male finds a female, he bites into her flesh and never lets go. Over time, his body fuses with hers. His organs deteriorate until only the parts necessary for reproduction remain. He becomes a living appendage, permanently attached. This is not cruelty. This is survival in a world where meeting even once may be all evolution allows. The anglerfish does not follow familiar rules of biology. Down here, companionship is optional, light is bait, and existence itself demands sacrifice. There are regions of the ocean so hostile that most life cannot survive there at all. The water holds almost no oxygen, movement is costly, energy is scarce. For many creatures, entering these zones is a death sentence. But in the deep sea, even the most uninhabitable places are not empty. Drifting within these suffocating layers is a creature often misunderstood by its name alone. It does not drink blood. It does not hunt relentlessly. In fact, it barely hunts at all. The vampire squid exists where predators struggle and prey is rare, occupying a thin boundary between life and collapse. Neither truly squid nor octopus, the vampire squid has evolved a strategy built on efficiency. Its body is soft and delicate, its movements slow and deliberate. Rather than chasing food, it waits for organic debris to drift down from above. Fragments of dead plankton, fecal matter, and decaying life collectively known as marine snow. Using sticky filaments, it gathers this falling material and consumes it gradually, surviving on what others ignore. When threatened, the vampire squid does not flee. Instead, it performs one of the most unsettling displays in the deep ocean. It turns its webbed arms inside out, forming a cloak around its body, exposing rows of sharp-looking spines. At the same time, it can release clouds of bioluminescent mucus, glowing in the darkness and confusing potential attackers. This display costs far less energy than escape, and in the deep, conserving energy is everything. Perhaps most disturbing is how little this creature needs to survive. Its metabolism is among the slowest of all cephalopods. Its muscles are weak, its lifestyle passive, and yet, in an environment that should be unlivable, it thrives. The vampire squid is proof that in the deep ocean, dominance does not always belong to the strongest or fastest, but to the one willing to endure the least. At extreme depths, familiar animals begin to change in unsettling ways. Shapes we recognize from the surface return, but stretched, hardened, and enlarged beyond anything that feels natural. This is a phenomenon known as deep-sea gigantism, and few creatures embody it more disturbingly than what crawls slowly along the ocean floor. At first glance, it looks like an oversized pillbug, the kind found beneath rocks in a backyard. But this version is nearly the size of a dog. The giant isopod is a deep-sea crustacean, armored in thick plates, its body built like a living tank. Each segment is reinforced, not for speed, but for endurance under crushing pressure. Food in the deep is unpredictable. Weeks, sometimes months, may pass without a single meal. To survive, the giant isopod has evolved the ability to slow its metabolism to an extreme degree. When food does appear, often in the form of a whale carcass sinking to the seafloor, it gorges itself, sometimes eating so much it can barely move. Then it waits, and waits, and waits again. Despite its size, the giant isopod is not an apex predator. It is a scavenger, a patient recycler of death. Its role is not to chase, but to endure. The armor that makes it look monstrous is simply protection against a hostile world and opportunistic predators. What makes the giant isopod truly unsettling is not its aggression, but its familiarity. This is a creature built from a template we know, a simple crustacean, magnified by darkness and pressure into something alien. It is a reminder that the deep ocean does not invent entirely new designs. It takes what already exists and distorts it until it no longer feels like it belongs on Earth at all. In the deep ocean, seeing is often more important than being seen. Light from above never reaches these depths, and bioluminescence becomes the only reliable source of illumination. In this world, vision is not about beauty or clarity. It is about detecting the faintest hint of movement in total darkness. Somewhere in that blackness drifts a creature so strange it appears almost unfinished, as if parts of it were left exposed. At first, its silhouette seems delicate, even fragile. But as it comes into view, its most unsettling feature becomes clear. The top of its head is completely transparent. The barreleye fish is built around its eyes. Encased inside a fluid-filled, see-through dome are two tubular eyes, pointed upward like twin telescopes. Rather than looking forward, the barreleye spends most of its time staring toward the faint glow above, scanning for the silhouettes of prey passing overhead. When something moves into range, its eyes rotate forward, locking onto the target. This design allows the barreleye to detect bioluminescent creatures without revealing itself. Its own body remains dark and nearly invisible from below, while its eyes gather every available photon. It is a predator that hunts by observation alone. The rest of the barreleye's body seems almost secondary. Its mouth is small. Its movements are slow and controlled. Speed would only betray its presence. Everything about this fish is optimized for patience and precision. What makes the barreleye so unsettling is not its threat, but its design. Transparency is rare in vertebrates, especially in environments as hostile as the deep sea. And yet, here it exists, a living window drifting through darkness. A reminder that in the deep ocean, evolution doesn't hide its machinery. Sometimes it puts it on full display. In the deep ocean, some creatures feel less like living animals and more like echoes from a forgotten era. They move without urgency, drifting through the darkness as if time itself flows differently around them. These are not the products of recent innovation, but survivors, ancient designs that endured because nothing ever forced them to change. In a place where conditions remain brutally consistent, evolution does not always favor progress. Sometimes it favors persistence. Along the shadowed continental slopes, far beyond the reach of sunlight, lives one of the most unsettling of these survivors, the goblin shark. Its appearance alone feels wrong to the human eye. The body is pale and rubbery, its skin loose and translucent, stretched over a skeleton made not of bone but cartilage. Unlike the sleek, powerful sharks of shallow waters, the goblin shark looks unfinished, almost fragile, as if it were never meant to be seen. It moves slowly through the water, conserving energy in an environment where food is unpredictable and effort is expensive. Speed is unnecessary here. The goblin shark does not chase its prey. It drifts, suspended in darkness, guided not by sight, but by sensation. In a world without light, vision is unreliable. Instead, this shark relies on electroreception, an ability to detect the faint electrical signals produced by the muscle contractions of living organisms. Even prey buried beneath sediment cannot hide from this sense. For most of its existence, the goblin shark appears passive, almost indifferent to its surroundings. But this illusion collapses in an instant when prey moves too close. Without warning, its jaws erupt forward from the skull, launching outward in a sudden, violent extension. This happens in a fraction of a second, transforming a slow-moving drifter into a mechanical ambush predator. Rows of narrow, needle-like teeth snap shut, impaling the prey before it has any chance to react. The jaws then retract just as quickly, dragging the victim back toward the mouth. This mechanism is so extreme it feels engineered rather than evolved, a biological trap hidden beneath an otherwise lethargic exterior. It is one of the most dramatic feeding adaptations in the entire animal kingdom, and it exists for a single reason: efficiency. In the deep ocean, opportunities are rare. When one appears, it cannot be wasted. Often referred to as a living fossil, the goblin shark's lineage stretches back tens of millions of years. Its form has changed very little over time, not because it failed to adapt, but because it never needed to. While countless species evolved, specialized, and vanished, this one remains sufficient. Its strangeness is not a flaw. It is evidence of long-term success. The goblin shark defies everything we expect a shark to be. It is not fast, it is not aggressive, it does not dominate through power alone. Instead, it survives through patience, precision, and ancient design. In the deep ocean, beauty and speed are irrelevant. What matters is whether something works, and the goblin shark has worked for longer than most life on Earth ever will. These creatures are not exceptions. They are the rule, shaped by a world we rarely see and barely understand. The deep ocean covers most of our planet, yet remains largely unexplored, its darkness hiding forms of life that defy familiarity. What we've encountered so far are only fragments, glimpses of what survives under crushing pressure and endless night. As technology pushes deeper, more shapes will emerge, stranger than the last. And when they do, they will remind us of an unsettling truth. Earth's most alien world isn't in space. It's waiting below the waves.